What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chat Room, a podcast dedicated with having interviews with upcoming stars and influencers of our generation. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at thechatroom.tcr and on Twitter at thechatroom_TCR. Also, don't forget to become one of our valued Patreon members, which allows you to unlock exclusive content while also supporting this podcast. Enjoy the episode. Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Kudzai, and welcome to another episode of the Chat Room. And yeah, it's been a minute since I've been on, but yeah, I'm back, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the episode. I think Mr. Tafadzi Soa has really been holding it down over the last couple of weeks. But getting straight into it, today I'm joined by one of the most interesting person I know actually on the internet. Mr. RayKaz, how you doing, my brother?
What's going on, man? Are you good?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. Just straight chilling. You know, this holiday type of vibes. It's my last week of holiday, so yeah, trying to sleep as much as possible.
Oh, snap. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, nah, we gotta do what we gotta do, bro. But yeah, we've been trying to do this for the past month. But
yeah.
It's just been tense. Things keep coming up, but I'm really glad that we've managed to do this. So for those that don't know RayKaz, he is a Zimbabwean hip hop artist and as well as a soccer player. So we can say he's multi-talented. So yeah, we're just gonna talk a little bit about both his soccer and some of his music. And yeah, bro. So I'm gonna start by putting you on the spot straight away, dog. Which like what do you take most seriously, soccer or music?
Oh, bro. Okay, that's actually a tough one. Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me. But I think I take them equally seriously. Yeah. The thing is, football's been my love for longer. That's been for longer. But hip hop has kept me alive, if that makes sense.
Okay. I don't get that. Do you mind elaborating a little bit about that?
So, I grew up watching football with my pops or my friends or whatever. Like, it's just been a part of my life since I can remember. Like, I've just always played football.
Yeah.
Hip hop. I've always listened to hip hop, but I started taking it seriously a bit later on, like maybe in my early teens. So whereas football has been a part of my life my whole life, like since my first memory, hip hop and being a part of hip hop has only come more so recently, even though I've always listened to it. So that's why I say the dream of football has been with me longer, but I take them equally seriously because like, if I'm going to do something I'm passionate about, I want to be the best at it, regardless of what it is. So that's why I say that. I'm actually better at football than I am at rapping.
Yeah, dog. Actually, I saw on your YouTube channel, and then I'm seeing like this entire profile of Ray playing soccer, and then I was a little bit disappointed that you were playing for the Rams, but we're just gonna let that slide. We're gonna let that slide. But otherwise, no, I was actually so shocked, and I'm like, wow, there's this other side completely aside from the music, because personally, I started listening to your music last year when you were on a Paint a Fresco track, Wave, the remix. Yeah. So that's when I personally started listening to you, and I'm like, wow, damn, this is another artist from Zimbabwe we can keep an eye on. And yeah, bro, it was interesting to see that you play soccer, man. And so what's your dream when it comes to soccer? You want to play professionally, or is it just one of those?
Well, the goal was always to play professionally. I had an ACL injury last year. That kind of halted everything. So obviously it's hard to say like what's what at this point, but the dream to me, would definitely be to play professionally. But the injury kind of made me focus more on the music because what else could I do?
All right. So professionally, obviously not in Zimbabwe, or are you looking in Zimbabwe?
Yeah. No offense. No offense. I'm sure.
All right. I mean, you could be the next Dynamo's captain. You never know, man. Never know.
I could be, or I could not.
All right, man. But let's just move on to your music, dog. I think the other day I sent you a text, and I was like, bro, you are underrated. I was listening to 97, and I'm just there like, when you actually listen to the words and that track, bro, it's insane, dog. Where are you getting the inspiration to come up with bar after bar after bar?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm underrated. I'd say I'm underexposed. I think those who know me know exactly how good I am. Yeah, inspiration wise, bro, I think you have the typicals. For me, my two biggest inspirations are rather obvious: Kendrick and Cole.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just I love words, and I love how words have this strange way of like conveying the human experience. And I love how you can make words just play with each other to say exactly what you want. And for me, it's crazy that you can tell a whole story just rhyming. Like, that's surreal to me. So I've always just wanted to do that, but especially separate myself where like other people are telling their story. But I'm doing it in such a way where if you're not paying attention to the story, you're just like, oh my gosh, how is this guy rapping like this? But then if you are paying attention to the story, it just adds to that dynamic of, oh my word, he's playing with words like this, but it all makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, what made you want to like go out there? Because you see, the most recent music that I can find is 2020, which is last year. So what made you like cross that barrier of saying, you know what, I want to rhyme and I want people to hear this?
Initially, there's two reasons. There's two main reasons. The first one would be social anxiety. So I do have some level of social anxiety. So just coming out and having like people hear me or see my face and know what I saw, that was mad scary to me. So it took me a while to get over. And then the second reason was because I wanted to come out polished. Like, I wanted to come out and you could drop me anywhere in the world in a room with any rapper in the world and I could hold my own. You know what I mean? I don't want to come out and you can go, this dude just started rapping. But like, I wanted to come out and people like, what? Who is he? Like, where has he been this whole time? Like, I really wanted to have that impact.
Oh, all right, cool. And I mean, you've collaborated with some really good artists that are already big. I mean, you've got Painter Frisco and you've got Sun. So how did that go about, especially without music being out yet? How did you manage to get such collaborations already? I mean, it takes some artists years just to get a couple of names on, if you get what I mean.
I do. Shout out Painter, shout out Sun. Those are the boys. You know what I mean? Well, I haven't come out publicly, but those that make music have known me for years. Like, all right. Maybe underground, but like I've always known, especially a lot of the guys who've blown up, they knew me before they blew up, if that makes sense. Painter, I met recently. He met me through Instagram. And he just hit me up. He was like, yo, I love your shit. So that's how we kind of got to collaborate. Sun, I've known for years. Like, I've known him since 2017, 2016. We used to be in this group that my producer from school, shout out Cash, he made a group with like all of us like music nerds and stuff who no one knew at the time. And it was Sun, Tippy, the producer. Rowan was actually there too, the director. There was a bunch of us. And we used to just like, it was crazy, bro. We used to just like send snippets of each other just rapping, freestyling, or ideas or song ideas. So like, I knew a lot of these people before they knew us, if that makes sense. Even Hannah's doing her thing in South Africa. A lot of people don't know she's been my best friend for over a decade. We went to the same school and stuff. So
all right. And dog, I'm sorry, G, but like, how's that? Seeing. I mean, this is so interesting, dog, because now you've got this group that you've had for years, and suddenly it's like one by one, each of you are getting the exposure you need. Each of you are blowing up. Like, does that create any tensions, any rivalries, or is that like, the push that you need if, you're in that sort of group and you haven't yet blown up?
It only creates tensions if you're not friends, is what I think. If you can look at someone who you're boys with and see them blow up and see them, and you're like, damn, that's like, what? Like, of course, I want them to blow up, dude. That's why we do this. So that was actually huge impetus for me. Is like, I remember we were in lower 6 and I used to tell Hannah like, yo, you should rap. And she's like, what? No, I can't rap. And I'm like, yo, like, just the music you listen to and the way you converse, like your English compositions and all that kind of stuff, you can definitely rap. You just haven't tried. And then to see her like now, she's an essay. She's one of the biggest artists from Zim, all that kind of stuff. Or seeing like Sun and you send each other voice notes and now Sun gets like 40,000 views a video. It's dope, man. It's dope. It definitely pushes you where you have like social anxiety, but you're like, wait, these guys are my friends. I know these people, and they're doing their thing and they're blowing up. So like, what's stopping me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's really dope, man. I mean, that's probably one of the most interesting things that I've heard in a while. But my G, you talked of not, not being underrated, but rather you don't have the exposure that you need, bro. And that's the problem that I have with Zim hip hop. Like, I mean, obviously for me, I'm a huge music fan, and generally this podcast is about getting exposure to the people that deserve exposure. So we actually search for people, if that makes sense. But if it wasn't for this like type of platform that I have, right, I wouldn't know a lot of artists that I've come across. And that's the problem in Zimbabwe, is that there's just so much going on, but little exposure, bro. Do you have any solution, or do you know what we can do as the Zimbabwean industry, hip hop industry, to just lift our music and our artists up? Because I think some of the wordplay that goes on around, I mean, there's Denim Woods as well as Sun, yourself, Painter Fresco, you guys are young, but your wordplay is like crazy. People need to hear it, bro. Do you get what I mean? So where can we take the Zimbabwean industry in terms of exposure?
There's a lot that needs to be done, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't think we have a hip hop culture specifically.
Yeah.
I think that's a relatively new thing. I remember 10 years ago, even if you went like to the hood, like Kumfakos or whatever, you couldn't play hip hop. It was whack. Like you could not play it. It was, like an unwritten rule. And now you have cats that do make hip hop from both sides of, you got Holy 10 or Denim or whatever. I think we're a long way away from developing like a culture whereby people actually take music seriously, people actually support, people actually listen to their homies or whatnot, in the same way like SA do. Like it took SA a long time, but they're like a full-on music industry now.
Yeah.
What I think the solution is, and this would need someone with a good heart, and that's not to say the guys at the top don't have good hearts or whatever, but what I think we need is we need someone to blow up. Unfortunately, we need someone to blow up internationally. We need someone who's good enough to travel overseas, to travel the waters and excel there. Like you pit them against the young Americans or the young UK artists, and they're good enough to hold their own and even beat some of them. And we need someone from here to blow up there and then use those powers to bring it back here. Kind of like, it's not the same industry, but kind of like what Burna Boy does for Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Like the biggest thing, one of the biggest things in music, but he's opened up that whole Nigerian market, and you have all these artists coming out, and it's simply because he blew up elsewhere. And he was like, nah, guys, there's more people like me. You just haven't been paying attention to my country. I think we need one of those.
Oh, all right. No, that's interesting, Doc. And I mean, you spoke of Holy 10. I mean, there's also Pro Beats and JT Volts is now coming up, right? So you've got these artists, and I think for me personally, they're growing bigger than, you know what, I'm going to be careful how I phrase this, but you have the guys that are rapping in English, right? And then you've got the guys that are rapping in Shona. So obviously I can see like face value. You see that the guys that are rapping in Shona are doing much bigger waves in Zimbabwe. And do you think that's part of the problem where, people are struggling to indulge the culture? I mean, I was talking to Painter the other time, and, he raps English and Shona, but it's more of English, right? And I mean, you've got some people that will be calling him, Musala di Uyu, this guy is trying to be American and stuff like that. And I mean, like, is that part of the problem where now you've got guys that prefer Shona not supporting the English rappers?
Yeah, 100%. That's nothing against those guys. I think those guys are super dope. Like, I bump them religiously. But that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody needs to blow up internationally, because the problem with that, or I won't say the problem, I'll say the unfortunate part of that is there's a reason Nasty C is the most popular SA rapper internationally,
Yeah.
And they have Caspers, they have KOs, but Nasty C primarily raps in English. And there's nothing wrong with rapping in your own dialect. It actually adds flavor to your musical content, but it's not going to be relatable to everyone else outside the country. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem here, because if you do that, like Holy 10, JT Volts, what, it works perfectly for the local market. Like, you're probably going to be the biggest thing in the local market because, you relate to most of the community. But the problem is you can't then send a lot of those people internationally to represent for us in the realm of hip hop, because a lot of the other people just like aren't going to be able to relate, right?
Yeah,
I think that's a big problem we have here, bro. I think it's a huge problem. Like, we need to learn to appreciate both, and we need to learn the pros and cons of both and push both. Like, I've been told, yeah, bro, you sound American, bro. Like, I'm sure you can tell, like, that's just my accent. I'm not putting it on.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's like, okay, I sound American. What does Kendrick Lamar sound like? Like, the majority of the content we consume is American hip hop. So of course, naturally, most people are gonna sound American if that's what they're trying to emulate or that's what they grew up on. I think it's a interesting conversation to have, but I think
I mean, you've got a point, dog, and we're just gonna move to your music directly. Thank you for answering a question that I actually hadn't asked yet. But I was gonna ask you about your EP, dog, and the title of that is Anxious Confidence, right? So you obviously told us that you've got social anxiety. So I'm guessing that's where the title came from, yeah?
Of course.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man. And I mean, there's quite a lot of tracks, 13 for an EP. So, bro, how long did it take you to make such a thing? Is like some of these tracks sound a little bit retro. I don't want to say like vintage, but like they sound around 2013, 2012 type of vibes. So has that been in the works for quite some time?
No, actually, the only 2 tracks from all 13 that are archaic, for lack of a better word, are Nabila and Runners. Like, Nabila I wrote in Upper Six, which would be 2016, and Runners, the outro, I wrote that in 2017. But everything else I pretty much made from March 2020 until August 2020. So literally just that 6-month span was the majority.
All right, that is so dope, bro. And are we expecting any new music anytime soon?
Oh, yes, sir. I got another EP on the way. Yeah.
All right, cool. Are you going to leave it there, or you're going to give us a little bit of a glimpse? Title, how many tracks?
Damn. All right. I got another EP on the way. It's called Those Around Me EP. I can't tell you the number of tracks yet, just because I kind of want to keep that to myself for now. But I was actually supposed to drop it this month. But yeah. I want to do a lot more promo. Like I said, I think I'm underexposed, so I want to make sure I leave it all on the table in terms of getting my name out there, recognition, in terms of videos with it, lyric videos, promotion, like all that kind of stuff. So right now, I'd say early to mid 2022, but yeah, it was supposed to come out this month.
Oh, all right, cool.
A lot more features.
A lot more features. I was about to be like, any collaborations in there, but it's okay if you're gonna keep us on our toes, man. I mean, I'm just you know what, dog? I'm just excited for this in hip hop industry, dog. Like, it's crazy to see how many, and the thing is, it's young people doing the things. It's people in school, that are doing the things, and it's just exciting. I was talking to Ishe again on this podcast, and I'm like, bro, it's exciting times. It's exciting times, man. But just before we leave, dog, I'm just gonna ask you, bro, who do you hope to collaborate with in the future, near future? Oh yeah, who do you hope to collaborate with in the future?
I get that. There's people on the upcoming thing who I've wanted to collaborate with, and that's the problem with Zim. There's so many dope people that people don't even know, and like, there's my homie Fuse. Fuse is crazy. Like, sometimes I actually think he's better than me. Like, he's so dope. He's on there. A homie Andile is on there. Isha's on there. Hopefully Sun's on there. A lot of dope people. But in terms of maybe, I'm guessing the scope is what you mean is like more so internationally.
Yes, 100%.
A bunch of people. The dream collabs for me, Kendrick, Cole, Drake. I need a song with each of those guys, or multiple. And then there's a lot more people closer to my heart who I'd love to collaborate with. So the Sminos, the Sabas, the JIDs, Mick Jenkins, Millions, Unknown T, Billie Eilish.
Oh wow, how would that work? How would that work? How would that work?
These streets up, I'm telling you.
Oh man. That's such an interesting pair up, man. But RayKaz, bro, I think this conversation has been much needed, and I'm just happy to see a little bit, into your music, I mean, like, dog, I'm excited for you and definitely gonna be waiting on that EP. But just before we end it off, do you have any advice that you can give the people, the people in your industry, the young upcoming talent, and yeah, just a little bit of wisdom right there.
Yeah, man. Never sacrifice your artistry and what you believe is authentic to get further ahead. Always do what's at your core. Like, I will never sacrifice my values for this music stuff, man. It's me first. And then another thing I've learned, which is very important, is nobody owes you anything. I think that's a mistake, including me, that I made coming into the industry. I was like, yo, I'm easily the best rapper, so of course this is gonna happen, this, and I'm gonna like, no one owes you anything. No one owes you a listen. No one owes you a buy. No one owes you a feature. You got to find ways to work for it and know people who know people and whatnot. So just don't take it personally. No one owes you anything. That's just the way of me.
Yo, that's deep stuff. Nobody owes you anything, my niggas. But yes, RayKaz, thank you for coming on, man. I'm just excited. I mean, there's something that we might cook up together again in the near future. Hopefully that works out. I'm not gonna spill the beans now, but I'm just excited for you and your career, both in soccer and hopefully you're recovering well.
Yeah, of course, man. I should be running soon, so thank you.
Oh, all right, cool. So yeah, hopefully both your dreams will work out simultaneously. But thank you for coming on, and thank you, listeners, for coming on to listen to another episode of the Chat Group. I mean, we keep growing each week, each month, each year. But I'm excited for what we're doing here, and we just appreciate that a lot of people are recognizing what this platform can do for our country, for our nation. So shout out for that. But until next time, peace.